The drifters are sieging Zarzakh, and the Deathless is calling for Capsuleer aid. But, as all good Empyreans know, where there's active battlegrounds, there's money to be made. In this video, we will be going over everything there is to know about these new Horizon Siege Point sites, including what and where the sites are, how to properly prepare for them, how to actually run them, and of course, what you can actually get out of them. And it's a hint, it's purple. Also, for your viewing pleasure, I will be showcasing a successful run of this site in the background while I talk about everything. So with that out of the way, let's dive in. To start, what are these sites? Well, they're called Horizon Siege Points, and they are a new kind of event content. Think kind of like Homefront group content, but this is going to be for well-skilled pilots. Newer pilots can come, but there are some caveats as we'll discuss further in the video. These sites are spawning in 4 very specific systems. That is, the 4 systems right outside of Zarzakh: Turner, Alsavonen, HTAC PA29, and GTAC OQ86. Furthermore, Zarzakh is undergoing a emanation lock phase, and what this means is that if you jump into Zarzakh from one of the systems, you will get hit with a timer, a 6-hour timer, where you can only jump out the way you came. So Zarzakh is now pretty split off, and if you're trying to go through it, it's just not going to work, at least for this duration of this event. Maybe forever. Time will tell. And because of this, if you are planning to do this content a lot, consider actually basing in Zarzakh. So once you go into Zarzakh, you get hit with your 6-hour timer, but then you can stay there, you can base there, you can even set your home station there. And if you have a bunch of ships there, you get potted there, you come back and go back out. And going out the gates does not cause the lock timer. It's a pretty easy, simple way. If you're planning to do this a lot, probably get some ships in Zarzakh and base out of there. If not basing out of Zarzakh and you want to go to one of the far off, probably nullsec areas, consider using Pochven, Thera, wormhole chains, etc. to reach those areas faster than just pure jumping. Also, do keep in mind that these systems are low sec and null sec, so be very aware, ready for PvP at any moment's notice. Alright, let's go ahead and talk about the preparation work that needs to be done before you engage these sites now. Any amount of people can join, but the highest payouts are going to be for 10 pilots and below. If you have 11 or more, it gets progressively worse payout per pilot, as we'll talk about later in the reward section, but keep that in mind. The ideal group is going to be a size 10 fleet. So with that in mind, what can go in these sites? Battle cruisers and lower. No Vargers here. No battleships at all, in fact. We found success with 3 T2 Lodges, so that's 3 Guardians, for example. Furthermore, you should probably have at least 1 command ship, probably 2, maybe 3, maybe all command ships after that, to at least give yourself a bunch of command burst bonuses. After that, you probably want some DPS in the form of battle cruisers, or T3Cs seem to work, and you're going to need to be able to kill close range frigs and dessies, mid-range cruisers, and long range, think 30 kilometers, battleships. As for the medium range, it's like 20 kilometers, close range is like 10 and less. You also probably need 2 people dedicated to this job to like kill the ads, while the rest of your fleet needs to bring big damage. So think Drekavacs, blasters, Astartes, things like that, to be able to blast down a structure in a very short time frame. Our fleet, as you can see, is doing it with mostly Dreks, 3 Guardians, a Damnation, and a Drake Navy issue. So now that you have your fleet together, you're ready to actually run one of these sites. To note, they are going to take about 25 minutes to clear, so be ready for that. First, you warp into the site. There is a dead space rift, so go ahead and take the gate when you get there, and then the site will truly begin. Take note of your opportunities panel on the left hand for your mission critical info. This is going to tell you about the wave status, bosses, etc, etc. Firstly, you want to drop an MTU at the center right on top of the structure. The goal here is to make it through 10 waves of enemies while bashing down the main wormhole generating structure. While in a wave, a no warp bubble pops up and you are stuck there trying to survive the wave, so do be ready and prepared. When a wave starts, a random assortment of enemies spawn. Down in the description below, I'm going to link a handy spreadsheet for all of the enemy info, but most importantly is that the soothings are Logi and the innervatings are the neutralizers. That said, the true goal of the wave is to actually kill the structure's shield in the wave time limit to move on to the next wave. If you don't do this, the wave will end, the site will end, and you'll have to start anew. You can and likely will have a few rats still going into the next wave, but the idea is to clear the field as much as possible. You don't want a lot of buildup because that's going to be even harder and harder for your Logi to tank. There is also a little box above the main structure that's going to ask for items during wave 2, 5, and 8. The current best known theory is to put in the electron spin resonance first, the tau decay resonance second, and the muon cosmic resonance third. You can find the spin item from the deep flow rifts or in the Horizon Siege Point sites themselves. The tau drops a lot from the site itself, and then the muon is a rare drop from only the sites. When you do this, wave 3, 6, and 9 have boss officer spawns. The first one smart bombs, the second one neutralizes, and the third one grapples you. Kill them as soon as possible, or you will face the consequences. Just keep doing everything correctly, and at the end of wave 10, when you kill the structure, it will blow up and you can walk away with all of your newfound riches. It is also important to note that when you reach the end of wave 10, all DPS stops immediately and the enemies will warp away. So when you get to wave 10, focus fire everything on that last structure shield and pray to your Logi, get ready to heat, and after you've done it, hooray, the site is complete. Riches! So, what are these riches exactly? Well, for starters, by killing the officers, you get a chance for them to drop their officer mod. These are Electo's Modified Medium Multi-Spectrum Smart Bomb, an Omni Smart Bomb, pretty nice. Magira's Modified Medium Energy Neutralizer. Stratego's Modified Heavy Stasis Grappler, the only officer grappler in the game, and then Tristphone's Modified Target Painter. And I didn't mention it before, but after you kill the third boss, then the final boss will appear on wave 10, we think. Pretty sure on that one. For my group, we managed to do about 4-ish runs and managed to snag the omnidirectional smart bomb. Hell yeah, we got an officer, baby! Other than that, the payout works on an interesting sliding scale. Each wave you complete gets a payout based on the number of pilots in your fleet, with 10 being the best. On top of that, the payout increases every 3 waves, which is also an increase of difficulty on the site. Here is a chart to showcase that. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to look at the chart. It's a little confusing. On top of that, each rat also has a bounty payout. So the more rats you kill, the more money you make. Lastly, sleepers can also drop blue loot, which usually adds up to about 200 million ISK per site. Altogether, not counting the officer loot, you can expect to make about 200 million an hour by running 2 sites each hour. So, what do I think about these sites? Well, I think they're incredibly fun and well designed, and even give me the Eve shakes, which I rarely get these days. There is a bunch of push your luck mechanics with the waves and the optional boss spawnings, which means even if you can't fully clear the site, you can still engage with it to a degree and practice until you can get further and further in and get more and more riches. While I haven't done homefront content, this feels like a homefront for the big boys. It's great to feel good flying a beefy battlecruiser or a T3C that you're well skilled into and be able to do content that you can't realistically multi-box because there's so much different things going on. The payouts are a little bit low considering the risk involved when you don't take the officer mods into account, since we don't know how rare they are and what their fair market rate will be. I personally am hoping and do think that CCP wants to make more officer mods more available to the general public, so I'm putting my bets in that they will drop enough to make them worth about 10 billion. It also might depend on if the smart bomb, because they're the first boss, is the easiest to get. That might also affect the prices. We'll just have to find out. And of course, this is all Wild speculation. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you're looking to do these sites, but your corp is uninterested, then make sure you come over to Twitch, where a number of us will be hosting NPSI fleets just for these. You can also look out and probably like NPSI, like Fun Inc., the internet. You could join up with random fleets. It'll be fun. You'll have a good time. Trust me on that one. But that's all I got for you. And it looks like the structure just cracked. So let's sit back and watch the explosions together. Until next time, 07.